What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing a highly requested video on all the questions that I get in my DMs about what I have done to my car, highly recommended parts for the Supra, and so on. So we'll get right into it. First thing we'll talk about is the wrap of the car. So this is probably one of the most controversial things with the car. The color is a satin chrome blue, or actually it's a blue, as my guy Tristan would say. Say hi to Tristan. So the color is blue. Nah, it's satin chrome blue. It's not the best material, but it's holding up pretty well. I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but I have my logo on here. That was something that was requested by me as well, and I also have it on the wing here as well. But as far as the wrap goes, in terms of the quality of the material, it's probably like 5 out of 10, maybe even a 4 out of 10, because I've had to get it fixed so many times. A lot of shops don't want to deal with this material because of the headache of the peeling and coming up on the car and stuff like that, so I completely understand. But enough with the wrap, let's get to the wheels. So we have Vossen HF5s in the front, Vossen HF5s in the back. I think they're 19 by 9.5 in the front and 19 by 10.5 in the rear. Offset in the front is 22 and offset in the rear is 30. So for those of you guys who are asking about the wheels, that is my offset. They are super concave. You have to actually call Vossen for these. They don't have it listed on the website. So you have to call them or email them and ask them for the super or deep concave HF5s. So we also have a 305, 35, 19 in the rear. A lot of people always ask what kind of tires I'm running. That's what I'm running. Yes, they do rub when you first put them on, but they eventually, wear out and you can kind of, run them comfortably. I wanted more cushion in the rear because I felt like the stock tires were kind of rough when driving. So I think more meat in the back. Pause. Hey, yo! Makes the car much more comfortable when driving. And then we have Toyo's 265, 35, 19 in the front. But these just got put on. I'm not too crazy about the size. I would rather go with a 245, looks much better to me personally. It makes the car look much lower, but with these, you get a better ride, you get a much more comfortable ride because this is a ½ inch wider in this as opposed to the stock wheels. So 265 I don't recommend, but I got these for a steal. Shout out to Minty for getting me these for about, I think I paid 60 bucks, right? For both tires, which is insane. And these are Toyos. We also have our Keys Motorsports front lip. This is actually not even Keys Motorsports, this is actually AA Concepts. So when the Supra first came out, there was a bunch of companies making a lot of parts, and a lot of companies were getting the parts. It's still happening now. A lot of people get the same parts from different manufacturers in China. I think Keys Motorsports probably had some sort of patent on it, so AA Concepts stopped selling it. But you can get the same exact lip from Keys Motorsports. I think it's about $500 to $700. It's more of a splitter, so it kind of gives you more of like a sleeker look. I kind of didn't want to get a lip because in New York, the roads are terrible. There's tons of potholes. So I figured why not just get a splitter, because it doesn't make sense to spend $1,000 plus on a lip that's gonna crack driving in New York anyways. East Coast Supra mirrors here. I paid about $250 for these. These have been on for about, I want to say maybe close to a year now actually. So they're holding up pretty well, but since the car sits outside a lot, it has a lot of like peeling up from the clear coat. Probably can't see it on camera, but I mean, they're holding up pretty well. They actually do help with the wind buffeting. So if you're going above 45 miles per hour, it kind of cancels out the wind buffeting. But if you're at 45, you still get it a little bit, but it does help a ton with the wind buffeting in the car. We also have our Street Hunter wing here. This, I paid $1,600. I bought it last year. I was on the forums. I happened to get lucky with somebody who was selling it. They bought 2 wings, and this one was just sitting in their house. And 4 months later after that, I reached out to him and see if he still had it. He still had it. He said he would do it for $1,600 shipped. This brand new is about $1,800, $1,850. So I saved about, plus I didn't pay taxes, I didn't pay shipping, so that was a steal. Huge shout out to that guy for hooking me up with the wing. I did install it myself. The install is not too bad. It was maybe 6 hours, so I guess it is kind of tedious, but I did this myself. It's not that hard of an install. For those of you guys who always ask about the install of the wing, it's not hard. Just attach the center part first before you actually mount it to the car, and you won't have any issues. So we have our AWE exhaust as well. It's kind of dirty. Sorry guys, it's super dirty right now. That's New York for you. So this is the non-resonated, no, I'm sorry. This is the resonated AWE exhaust. So this was also sponsored by AWE. Shout out to AWE for the sponsorship on the exhaust. Probably one of the best sounding aside from, what's the other exhaust brand? Boost Logic. I think Boost Logic is one of the best sounding exhausts, or dual exhausts. There's other companies that are coming out with exhausts now that are probably pretty good, but I'm not really much into being loud. I kind of wanted the more polished sound with the Supra, so I figured having a resonated kind of sound will give me a deeper tone with the car. So I went with the resonated version as opposed to non-resonated because I felt like it was too raspy with the non-resonated. We also have a downpipe, which I paid about $280 something for. It was, I'll put it in the description. It's a Mastery of Art and Design, so it's a MAD downpipe, and it was about 280 bucks. So that was a steal. It's holding up great, don't have any issues, no cracks on the welds or anything like that. So we have our Brom seats. These are the Alpha X Series seats. I feel like for the price of these seats, they're great seats. They're probably the best looking seats you can get for the price, as opposed to, you know, maybe a Sparco or Recaro seat. They're not too bad. The only thing is it is a super tight fit, and if you are a tall person, it's probably not gonna be the best seat for you because of the legroom you have in the front. For somebody like my girl, who's tiny, these are perfect. They're great seats. I also think I paid about, I forgot what it was. These are sponsored as well, but I forgot what I paid for them. But shout out to Brown for the sponsorship on these seats as well. I love them. So we also have the steering wheel, which is another thing that I always get DMs about. It's a little bit dirty actually now, I gotta clean it. But this is the VQ Carbon Customs steering wheel. So I got this with the paddles. I paid about $11.50 for the steering wheel and the paddles together. So I got a little deal because of the promotion. So shout out to VQ Carbon Customs. I'm not sure who the owner is. I speak to him all the time. People always ask about the steering wheel. It is an LED lit steering wheel, and you do have to plug it into the OBD port. So you always have to have that connected if you're running the LED steering wheel. So it's not a bad thing, I don't really mind it. I just disconnect it when I tune the car. It's not really a big deal. But love the steering wheel. I also use that to measure my E85 ethanol content because it tells you every single thing in terms of fuel, intake air temperature, or oil temps, and so on. So make sure you guys hit up VQ Carbon Customs for your steering wheel. Then we have a little Fast and Furious action over here. We have the USB stick set up in here. I put movies on the USB stick, so you guys can check out that video on my channel as well. So you guys can learn how to put the USB stick or the movies on the USB stick so you guys can watch any movie you want possible. We have the Brom harnesses as well. I'm not really sure how much these were, but they were included in the package with the sponsorship. So yeah, these hook up to the Cusco harness bar, which I'm gonna show you guys right now in the back. This is about 260 or 70 bucks. I got it from, where'd I get this from? Vivid Racing. So I wanted to get this because the stock harness bar is, you know, it looks kind of crappy, especially with these seats. So you can also hook up your harnesses to the harness bar if you want. So that was just a plus. And also it's the same color as the car. So it definitely added a perfect touch because the red interior matches with the brake calipers on the side of the car. So I kind of went with the blue and red kind of theme. So we don't have anything done under the hood because when I first got the car, I was so like, you know, focused on the looks of everything. And that's how I build my cars. I build my cars more so to be like aesthetically pleasing. But with this car, after a while, when you have the car, you know, set up to how you want it, you eventually do want it to go fast because everybody's always trying to race you and everybody's always trying to run you, whether it's a Honda Accord or another Supra. So you got to have power at this point with the car, even though it's relatively fast when it's stock. But I feel like you should definitely put at least a tune on the car, which we have MHD as well. Forgot to say that. Forgot to say we have MHD tune as well in the car, about $500 or $600. But the car makes around 516. 490, 533 torque. It's pretty quick, but I have to get an ethanol content reader to make sure that I'm getting E30 because the car runs like crap sometimes if I don't have the right mix in. So it's kind of hit or miss right now, but until I get the ethanol content analyzer, I'll be able to know exactly how much E I'm running in the car. We have another AWE part on the car, and this is the AWE S-Flow carbon intake. This was another sponsorship deal I got with AWE. You guys can check that video out on my channel as well. Battery actually died in the camera and I left my batteries at home. I had it underglow in the car. I took it off because I don't know, I just felt like it was kind of corny. It was like an Instagram kind of clout thing, and did a couple videos with it and took it off. But I gotta rip the rest of it out because the wires are hanging on the bottom. If you guys have any questions, drop them below, or you guys can DM me if you guys have any questions about any parts in the car. There will be also a couple of links in the description below of all the parts if I can get them. Some of them aren't available anymore. I don't think the lip is still up on Keys Motorsports, but that's it guys. Until next time, make sure you guys like, comment, And subscribe, I think, right? Like, make sure you guys like. Make sure you guys like, comment. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. It'll help me, so help me with the build of the car, and just subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.